Hi everyone, I am going to break down a game I just played last night, just before midnight, and this game ended up beating the GrandMaster, and I'm going to break down what my thought process was, and what kind of worked, what didn't, and why I think it worked. So without further ado, let's get into that game here. Okay, pretty standard opening here. Now they give me a decision. What I decided to do is just push my pawn forward. I don't want to trade off material yet. I'd like to, develop my pieces somehow, if that's possible. And, maybe backdoor down the road, if I could build a hidden position or try to figure out a way to overload. That doesn't always work, but if there's a situation against this opponent here, I'm going to try that. Another option, if that doesn't work, is to just try to figure out a way where I can flat out attack a position, possibly trade off material, and look for an overload that they can't quite calculate. Because again, when you're playing against this type of opponent, they're not going to give you stuff. You've got to attack. You've got to find it. Doing some strategy I mentioned earlier, or some type of attacking chess that you have in mind. You have to find a way to attack and tear them up, because if you don't, they'll just tear you up. So okay, let's move forward here. Next move, not much. Pawn forward, d4, simple enough. They're developing, I'm developing. Okay, what I'm hoping for when I move the bishop out here, which isn't the greatest move, I'm hoping that black castles to this side, which they end up doing, but that's what I'm hoping. And what I'm hoping to do is play some combination of knight, bishop, queen, and possibly later down the road using some of these other pieces, and then just putting a full frontal assault, attacking the king's position, and hoping for some type of overload or whatever to try to win. Okay, next move. Knight. Oh, this is really nice because now I don't have to sacrifice the bishop. I can trade off pieces and get these pieces out of position and maybe figure out some way to attack here. So good. All right, I'm just going to develop. Okay, castle. And when black moves the bishop forward, okay, this is really good for me because it means that they're going to castle to this side, and I'm getting my pieces set for an attack over here. So I'd start, moving some pieces forward, trying to come up with something here. Thought process is to defend this piece because there's this piece this knight can attack here, this knight can attack here. I may want to push an attack somewhere down the road, potentially. I also seriously want to take this out so that, there'll be some combination here. The castle. Okay, good. Now I can put my plan to attack. I move the castle forward to the e3 square, or rook to e3. C5, ideal, and it's essentially trying to push me out of my position here, which, okay, I'm going to double down on that. I elect to go queen c2, meaning they're going to push here. I'm going to take this, like I was thinking earlier, and then I still have the open line with the queen, and if this piece, if I move the rook, I have an open line with the bishop. And potentially I can possibly move the knight if I could mess this stuff up here. Okay, I play c4, that was expected. And I capture. Now the question is, which way is black going to take? I almost think black is better off taking with this piece because it opens up the file. This file right here to the rook. The F file. Black elected to take with h6, which could present problems if I can get any of these big pieces and here backed up by another piece. I could put pressure in the king, which I can't right now, potentially, but then again, this type of opponent, even though it's artificial intelligence, is pretty good at tearing apart my position, so I got to be careful here. I just go h3, nothing major. Again, I want to try to develop when I can, but not in that move anyway. Okay, I play knight b6, which is, I don't know, maybe looking to go here or something. I just decide, yep, I should develop my knight, so I get to knight db2. Black develops a bishop there. And again, I'm moving this knight over here because I want to get in position for an overload. I want to overload this side right here and figure out some way to bring pressure and see if I can come away with the victory, given how tough this opponent is. Computer plays bishop a4, which puts pressure on my queen. I elect to just push my pawn forward and see what they do. Black decides to go bishop b5, which is good because they're not really developing anything. They're kind of backing up, and it gives me some options here. I move the knight forward to g3. Black plays a5. They're looking to put pressure through here and break apart my position. And again, as I've discussed many times, I want to take out this side if possible. I decided to play a4 just to get this, to resolve this piece issue. I don't know if it's the best option there. They decide to capture right here, and I elect to take with my queen. And the computer, or Black GrandMaster, decides to put pressure on my queen. Again, I want to go back to, I'd like to get back to the original idea where I have the queen putting pressure here. I'd like to just go straight back here to b2. There's a development piece looking to, maybe move this out and put pressure on my pieces, possibly tearing apart my position. I like to play h4, which isn't good because they can bring more pressure, but I have something in mind. So they play bishop d3. Move number 21 for me. I capture the bishop with the rook. And they play knight to c4. I move my queen back in position to c2. And here's where the attack comes. The bishop captures h4. Okay, I capture with the knight. And these knights weren't really in good position, so I'm okay with trading them off for a bishop there. They're going to recapture with the queen, and this is where I have kind of a tough decision. As the queen's putting a lot of pressure, I could do nothing. What I decided to do is to actually bring my knight back here, and what I'm hoping to do is use this piece as a protector and then move the rook to h1 to get the queen out of there, and then put pressure on, look for a mating pattern or something where I could get to the king, possibly bringing the queen out this way, or even potentially, you could take a rook here and maybe sacrifice the bishop and then attack this line or something. I'm looking to try to win with a check here if I can, or bring pressure. So I move the knight back to h1, not because it's a great square, but because I want to develop these pieces. I'd like to open up the range of possibilities for what they can do. I am not sure why they're playing king 7 there. I would think they want to develop a rook. Maybe it's a programming thing. But I'm not concerned too much about if there's a programming glitch or something, because I play a lot of video games, I play a lot of chess. I don't mind exploiting glitches or problems in the code. Okay, back to my original idea. I've got a pen on the queen. Yeah, so I don't know why they did that. But this pretty much gives me the game here. So I got the queen pen, and they're just going to capture it and trade off. So you can see I've got a little bit of an advantage. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, major pieces. I got 2 pieces, 2 rooks and a knight, where I've got a queen, a rook, a bishop, and a knight. Knight's in bad position, but I can make it work from here. Game's pretty straightforward, as long as I don't screw up or do anything really dumb. I can take it here. We'll just look at move by move. They're going to try to push forward the rooks. I'm going to try to go for a check and tear into their pieces. And then what I'm going to do is use the queen, and the idea is just to push this pawn forward and then trade off material, break apart this position, and look for the check. I'm not sure where the king h8, where they could possibly have done some moves to put pressure. There's a move that says pretty much I give up. Okay, I'm okay with that trade-off there. I push forward, and now you can see there's pretty much mates and whatever. It's just a matter of me not doing anything dumb here. Get the pieces in place, and there we have it. There's a checkmate there. Yeah, so hopefully 1 or 2 of these ideas, concepts helped you out. It's not the perfect game, but when you're playing, I guess the key point I always make, when you're playing against an opponent this tough, like a GrandMaster or any software like this, you have to say, okay, what can I do that software can't do? And if your answer is, great mathematical calculations, no matter how good you are at math, computers will just crush you at that. You cannot out-calculate them. You can look for like positional advantages, delayed overload, stuff like that. You can look for stuff, or specific attacks where you can get possibly a mismatch if they don't see it in the code. Because you could have like something where you got, okay, I got 5, 10 moves ahead, 20 moves ahead, I can do this variation of attack. You can do that to beat them, but you can't. You're never going to be able to out-tactically calculate, how you could play against them. You got to look for the little stuff, and that's the way to beat them on there. Hopefully, this helps. Signing out. I'd like to thank you for watching.